Alright, if you've been on the line looking for phone cases or even just on the internet in general, you've probably heard of Mouse. In some cases, people know them for their above and beyond advertisements, some which might be called out of this world, as they've even dropped a phone from space. And before we get into the video, make sure to drop a like from space, as it'll really help me out and hopefully suggest this video to more people. I'm not sure how many people would find themselves in these scenarios, but I'm glad they've tried them. To start off, I'm pretty impressed with the minimalist packaging that we get. It comes in this kind of like sheet folder looking thing of cardboard. It's not even closed on all sides, and the packaging that they use now is significantly thinner. I also like this dark green that they have on the outside. Personally, I think it's pretty cool. It's good that they use limited materials because this is really just for a phone case. I don't think it has to be anything too special. Here I've got the case for the iPhone 13 Pro, which they all now call their Limitless 4.0. Currently, I'm using the aramid fiber version, and it's kind of like their soft carbon fiber version for their case. If you're looking into getting this case, you're probably wondering which things I've noticed. The first thing I've noticed is the camera bump is pretty close to the outside of the case. The next thing I would note is that the buttons still feel pretty clicky even with the case on. This is something that some people might be worried about with the new case, but personally I think it feels pretty good. If you were wondering, there's a decent sized cutout for the ringer switch, so turning the ringer on and off will be no problem. The features they boast with the Limitless cases is that there's good cutouts, good materials. There's supposed to be raised edges to protect the screen. However, there's also a reduced lip around the outside. That way you can still access your screen like you would normally. Another good thing about this case is it's pretty light, so you shouldn't really notice much of a weight difference when putting this case on your phone. Personally, I don't like the bulky cases very much, so this case is perfect because it's thin but still protective enough to where I don't really worry about dropping it. To do this, they use the AeroShock technology, which is something that they include around the edge of the case, which is supposed to absorb shock when the phone drops on the ground. The next thing I would like to note, this review goes not only for the Limitless 4.0, but older cases as well. This case is for the XS Max, and it's a Limitless 2.0 case. It has some differences from the 4.0, but it's still really good. Looking at the Limitless 4.0 from the 2.0, it sticks to basically the same formula. It has most of the same features, except there's no SIM holder or SIM card ejector cutout inside the case with the Limitless 4.0. which is something you got with the older case. MagSafe, which is one of the latest features for new iPhones, is something that's supported on this case. This may remind you of an older feature with the Limitless cases where there are other magnetic attachments that go on. However, if you're thinking that you might be able to use your old attachments, unfortunately you can't, or at least not with the wallet case attachment. Another small difference is there's a little white mouse logo at the bottom. I'm thinking this is because there's a lot of cases that look like mouse cases now, so they probably want to stand out just a little bit more. As you can see on the older version here, that white lettering is missing. One thing that I thought was kind of strange about this 4.0 case is that it does have a bit of a rock if you have it on a flat surface. This is in part due because of the raised cutout they have on the case. My suspicions are that they wanted to make the case thin but still needed to protect the camera modules, so they had to have it protrude a little bit. This is something that's not seen on the 2.0 where it's flush and on a flat surface there's no rock at all. One thing to note about these cases is they're pretty expensive. The case that I have here is $65, which is a lot for a phone case. Now, I was okay with doing this because my last case lasted over 3 years and is still in pretty good condition in my opinion. Another good thing is that you can be pretty confident when you're getting the case because in my experience, they're pretty responsive if you have any issues with the cases. You can find cases for the newest Samsung and Google devices, including the Pixel 6 Pro. Mouse actually used to include a screen protector with the Limitless cases, however, that's not the case anymore. So if you were a previous Limitless case user, you'll need to buy a screen protector separately. Another thing to mention, the cases that support MagSafe will have pretty strong magnets in them, so if you have any kind of hardware that's made of metal, then you might need to watch out for that. They actually include a little card with that information in the box. Okay, that's been it. Make sure to leave a like on this video and let me know in the comments if you have any questions or you want to see more about these cases. Peace.